All right, so for the live stream tonight, we ended up with maybe 6 gallons-ish of wash after we siphoned it off of the batch, and there was a lot of liquid, a lot of silt from that potato. Those mashed potatoes, I mean, tossed out maybe 8 inches of potato silt down in the bottom. So we lost a lot of liquid because that was a 10-gallon batch, and we were ending up with maybe 6 gallons, possibly 5.5. So lost a lot, but I guess you could take the time to screen all that out and try and get all of that liquid cleared up from the mashed potatoes, but I wasn't going to take the time to do it. I'm okay with a little bit of loss on the final yield. And we let this, we did that yesterday, and so we let it set overnight, hoping to get a little more sediment. This bucket was pretty clear because this was the first bucket that we did. We've already done a couple of runs where we were working on getting 190 proof with just some corn liquor. And what we found was it was pretty difficult. You've got to be able to adjust the water coming into the deflag. Sometimes you want it full blast, and at other times you just barely want it going through, but you've got to be able to adjust it. And we were having a hard time because we had one pump in the reservoir, and then that pump had a line that was teed off. One line was going here, and then one was going to the condenser. And every time we would adjust this line, it would also affect the condenser line, made it very difficult. So we've changed this setup. We're running 2 pumps. One pump that is for the deflag that we have the adjustable valve on, and the other pump will just be running the condenser. It'll be running full blast the whole time because you don't really have to adjust that one. And we want to make sure the cold water is coming into the bottom and it fills that pipe up and then overflows out. If you, on the pre-condenser or the deflag, if you come in the top, the water's kind of falling through the pipe, you can end up with like air pockets and things like that. And so, plus on the deflag, you want the vapor hitting the coldest part of the section first, and then moving through, and this section will be slightly warmer. It's not that much difference because there's only 5 inches there. But so that's one change that we made to this setup. All right, so again, we've got a separate pump for the condenser, and the cold water is running into the bottom. Always run the cold water into the bottom. The reason for that is you've got this long pipe, and one section of this pipe is going to be warmer than the other. You want your coldest water at the bottom end of the pipe and your warmer water up here exiting and going back into your reservoir. Kind of reverse from this up here. You want your vapor touching the coldest water first when it gets to the reflux zone, and you want your vapor hitting the warmest water first when it's getting condensed back into liquid for your final product. We're all set up now to run, and we'll get this heat turned on. We will also plug in our pumps long before we need them because it'll take a while for everything to heat up, but I like to just check for leaks because I don't want to find out there's a leak later when now we need to be condensing vapor into liquid. So
howdy everyone. I hope everyone is having an awesome week. Good weeks look different for different folks. Maybe you've got a ferment that went well. Maybe you just made your last alimony payment. I don't know. Maybe you've been anxiously awaiting an STD screen that came back mostly negative.
All the important ones anyway.
all the important ones, of course. Whatever the week looks like, I hope it's going good for you. Glad to be back with you here for another weekly live. Got Cyrus here with us. What we got going on today, brother?
Yeah, mostly negative. It was great. No,
You were that guy.
I see we got a lot of the usuals. We got Joe Park, Scott McNeil, Backwoods, Jeffrey.
What's up, everybody?
I see some names in here I don't recognize, so maybe some new folks are jumping in here. Tracy's in here.
We've got Richard Briner. We've got Richard Henderson,
Yeah,
a.k.a. Beagle Daddy on TikTok, if y'all didn't know him over there.
right.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah, good to be here again.
It is good to be with you all.
This is always kind of my favorite day of the week because of the live streams. Also, kind of the most hectic day of the week because of the live streams.
It's like crazy.
This day's been nuts.
Well, it's like our one thing of the week that's just a really hard hit time.
Yeah.
And just so much to do setting up and
Yeah,
oftentimes I think we sometimes we neglect our still during this day too.
we do. Yeah, today was a prime example of us not paying close enough attention to the still. Plus, like I'm having issues with my external drive, so it doesn't work on one computer, works on a laptop, which has thrown me off all day. Yeah, well, anyway.
The technical side of us being here with all you beautiful people every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're I'm kind of excited about this run. First time we ran vodka.
It is. I wish it had gone better. I mean, we haven't got into it yet, but this is.
It's a pretty small batch too.
It's a pretty small batch, and plus, sometimes runs just don't go like you planned them. I think this is one of them. Add into that our bit of neglect on one
We have
hand,
been
and
neglectful.
yeah, so is what it is. I think.
I'm going to turn that water down a little bit.
Yeah, slow the deflagmator down to a crawl. So I guess if you saw the intro, we're doing a vodka run and did a potato mash. Going to be a full tutorial video coming out on the YouTube channel in the next day or two, probably for it. And maybe not the next day or two. I'm not sure, but
We finished out like what, about 10% on 6 gallon? Well, it started off a lot more than that. Talk about
yeah. So
the mess.
Yeah, we mashed in. It was 10. It was a 10-gallon batch, and then when we when we were separating the liquid from all the potatoes because we fermented on the potatoes, the bottom was just a mush.
Super silt.
Silty mush.
Very fine, very fine.
Mm-hmm. And so, we had it in one of the blue barrels with the fermenter parts kit in it. And if you have the fermenter parts kit and use the bazooka filters, they are worthless on that wash.
Not going to work.
Worthless.
Not going to work.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you can still use them. We still used it. We just siphoned off the top.
Yeah. After opening the valve up and seeing what was coming out, it was like, that isn't going to work. So we siphoned everything off the top. There was several inches of potato silt.
Yeah.
And so we lost a lot of the liquid because we were not going to take the time to try and separate that out, screening it who knows how many times, use a 1.5 micron brew bag or some crazy stuff. So we sacrificed some yield to make that happen. And yeah, it's already showing. I think the run is already almost done.
It's hard to tell right now because we were at what, 10% is what we're kind of thinking.
Yeah, no, it was less than 10. It was like 8.5 or 9% ABV on the wash. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. On 6 gallons, so we're thinking, best case scenario, you pull a gallon of liquor out of it. Probably more than you could hope to get.
Yeah.
So very small batch. I think my big takeaway from running the vodka so far was like, hey, unless you are really prepared to screen this mash out, you are like, just be ready to accept a bunch of loss. Because it was started off at like what, 12-ish gallons?
Yeah. And so if any of you in the chat have some good tips for straining off the potato on a vodka mash, I'll certainly pay attention to that. But yeah, so be prepared to, one, give up some volume, give up some yield, or two, add in a lot of extra labor.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting video in and of itself. It's just like, hey, I'm going to try to really work this mash and get all I can out of it and screen all this off. And,
what are the tricks?
What's the easiest way to do that would be a pretty helpful video for a lot of folks, I'm sure. Scott McNeil said he just cleaned up his 55-gallon barrel to get ready to do a banana molasses brown sugar batch. Be careful with that banana. Stuff will get messy on you.
Banana will get messy too.
Speaking of,
Bob says his water line busted, truck quit, so just going to sit back and do quality control. Talking about how his week went, I guess.
Sorry about that, brother.
I mean,
water line busted, truck quit. Yeah. Well, buddy, damn. I mean, I feel your pain. The drive shaft is out of my truck right now, so like, I'm with you. I'll struggle together with you. Backwoods said, "I love the jar camera."
Thank you.
Pretty
slick.
We love you, Backwoods.
Is it dripping at all yet? No.
No, I got the water. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed with this batch. There ain't no.
Yeah.
And part of it was, my fault. I wasn't paying attention to the still and the pump on
no chat, no camera.
The pump on the condenser quit working on us.
Oh yeah, you boiled your mouth at one point too,
right? So
we're not gonna not talk about that. We're like been messing with these lines, and it's really probably just because a lot of this is we're trying to limp this valve back here along that we complain about every week.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, should we go get a new one? We'll just kind of do that. Well, maybe we'll just put its own pump in it.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not spending $12.
I love being tight. I love it. But yeah, so the coming off the deflagnator, it completely was just it wasn't running anything out, or maybe it was the condenser or the deflagnator one. I can't remember.
It was the condenser because there was steam blowing out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're running steam at the end of this condenser, and I'm like, whoa! And so Cyrus comes in here. We're looking at it and pull up the water outline for the condenser. Nothing. I mean, just like nothing coming out of it. Cyrus gives her the old hillbilly siphon job and just shot boiling water into his mouth. Yeah, I mean, it was shooting steam off the water going into the reservoir, and I was like, good Lord.
Yeah, okay? I didn't think that all the way through when I kind of panicked to get the water flowing.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, it got the job done, but I mean, it was literally you had a mouthful of boiling water.
Yeah, my mouth is steaming.
I looked over at him, beard steaming, steam going off, and I was like, dude, what?
Yeah,
it was not great. That was some real pain and suffering for this run.
Yeah, I don't know how much we lost with the steam going out because I wasn't paying close enough attention. So I don't know how long it was steaming, actually.
I was kind of in here with it, and I'd like to think it was only happening for, 30 seconds or so.
A few seconds.
A few mere seconds, but
yeah.
I don't know, because it does kind of start to put off an aroma when it starts doing that.
Yeah, it does.
Sending alcohol up in the air, and
I'm just closing this door over here. They're about to...
We got a party next door?
We're about to start partying next door.
We got rowdy neighbors.
The Pints with Priests party.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. After party with the priest, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, we got the. Let's talk about the giveaway. I'm kind of more excited about this giveaway than I am.
Well, here's the sad thing about this giveaway.
Yeah.
That might be the last jar. So
Oh, yeah.
But
Have we revealed?
we haven't revealed the giveaway. No.
Well, no. Have we revealed what any of the jars have proofed out at?
No.
Okay, so let's keep this fourth let's keep this fourth jar off to the side and just not share with anyone what it's done.
Well, nobody will get it that way. Like,
we'll give them some hints.
okay,
We'll try to help them out.
All right.
We'll try to help them out. So this week the giveaway is pretty cool. It's a grain kit of your choosing. So you're going to go over to stillingtheclear.com. If you're on TikTok, you can go to the link tree in my bio and get over there, or you can just type into your web browser stillingtheclear.com. You can go over there and look at all the grain kits that are up on the website. Then you just pick one that you like, one of your choosing, and that is the Guess the Proof giveaway this week. Pretty cool. Pretty excited about it.
See if we can get that thing dripping again. This thing has just one of those days. You get those days every now and then where you're like, it's a really good thing. These days only come around so often.
Yeah.
Where just everything is like, Jesus.
Also, I like to remember too, like my worst day here would be like my best day ever at any other job I've ever had ever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad. What am I bitching about, right?
Well, no, dude, I get it. Like, we can still have bad days. We're not immune from those, but I was thinking there was something happening. I don't know. I was filming something. It wasn't going good. And I'm just like, starting to get pissed off. And I'm like, I could be working at a law firm in Little Rock just yelling at people.
Right. Yeah. Like, my job is barely a job. Like,
yeah.
Midnight is asking, how far are y'all from Paragold?
Paragold.
I don't even know.
This seems like a good Adam question.
Craig and Bowden, Bourbon Santa. Hello, feller Arkies.
We got a lot of Arkies in
Craig
here.
must be in Arkansas. Joe Goodman, he's either Arkansas or Oklahoma.
I'm going to say Paragold's like 2.5 hours.
That's your guess.
It's my guess. 2:45. I'll lock that in.
What's the address here?
7709 Ellis.
Okay. And
What's up, John?
Unfortunately, you guys won't be able to see this tonight.
John's
I can't get
back in the
monitor
house.
That's fine. They're seeing it though.
They are.
Okay.
And what was your guess again?
2 hours 45 minutes.
No.
Way off.
Yeah. 4:22. 4 hours 22.
Where's it by?
Paragold.
Monticello?
And are we talking about Paragold, Arkansas, or is this like a Paragold, Louisiana?
Paragold, Arkansas.
Is
Right?
it by?
Paragold's across the state.
Oh, it's by Jonesboro.
Oh, okay.
It's
Jonesboro. I
northeast.
went the wrong corner. Which is why I was thinking I was that far off. So yeah, it's what, like
Northeast.
3.5, 4 hours?
Yeah, it says 4.5.
Yeah, I believe that.
4:22.
Go all the way down 40 and then go up north.
Yeah.
Paragold's across
Yep.
the state, Shane says.
There's Miss Joe Parks in the chats. Good to see you, Joe.
Craig is in Conway. I spent quite a bit of time in Conway and Searcy and all that when I was in the oil field.
Tracy Stevens said, been watching y'all's videos about a month, about to get my homemade fermenting barrel, so undecided on the still. I feel like the larger condenser is better than the Weaver. First off, awesome. Good to hear you've made some progress. You're working towards starting to distill.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the addiction. As far as the Weaver versus like a larger condenser, I don't know. I've seen some guys with some pretty wacky Weaver setup, and
Well, the Weaver, if you're talking about the 3-pot Weaver or the 2-pot Weaver, almost inevitably, anyone who gets one upgrades that thumper. Well, sometimes a thumper too, but upgrades that condensing coil because it's too small.
Yeah.
And so if that's what you're asking and saying about the larger condenser, that's actually for sure correct. And, that the Weaver is good because it's inexpensive. and there's nothing wrong with them for the price point that they're at. Very few people stick with them long term. After they've been doing it for a while, they upgrade to a different still. If you can learn to make some good liquor on a Beaver, then everything else after that is a Cadillac.
It's true.
And but if your budget allows, maybe just skip the Beaver. Maybe go.
You're going to eventually, if you stick in this hobby, it's inevitable. It will happen.
Or you're going to modify it so much that it's no longer really a Beaver.
You will probably have at that point.
Backwoods is in the house. He can attest to that.
Yeah, you will probably at that point have put more money into your Beaver than you could have just like a really nice 10-gallon stuff.
Snow. John is in the house.
Unforgettable.
It's going to be
unforgettable live. I guess.
You're never going to live that one down.
That's all right. I asked for it.
Yeah, and Papa and Jack's going to attest to that as well, talking about the Beaver or possibly the Snow Angels. Not sure.
Good to see you back in here, Papa Jack's. Iron Duke, all the way from East Yorkshire, England. Put some respect on the Duke's name.
That's right.
Love that guy. He's like, I've always thought he is like the more cultured, what we would be if we were in Europe. Like, still like very interested in distilling. Like, you just take all the hillbilly. And, like,
you would have to take all the hillbilly out of it.
You take all the hillbilly and southern. Well, you grow up in Europe. You're not going to get. It would be weird if you grew up in Europe and you were like us.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Iron Duke can tell us. Maybe there's hillbillies somewhere.
There could be. Yeah. I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
I had a buddy. Well, the late and wonderful Hal Davis.
Yeah.
He went to Ireland.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, he's like a lot like here. He's like, you go out in the country and it's just good southern. Out rural Irish people that are just, laughing and having a good time, really nice. It's like you go to Dublin, it's like going to New York.
Oh, yeah.
So I think there probably is.
Yeah. The thing dripping again? Okay, we're dripping again. Good. What else? Anything new going on this week? Zach has taken charge of the Homebrew Center YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, go support Zach in his effort to build that channel, and have put out a couple of shorts, got a video coming out, a full-length tutorial, which is kind of new for you, right?
Yeah, tutorial. First time doing the long-form video, so you guys will have to probably bear with me through that. I'm sure the first few I put out will be no good. We'll see. Kind of trying to commit to putting a short on there every day too.
Yeah.
So going to be a lot of short content, and then hopefully we get to a place filming wise where got one long form video a week, and So I don't know. You guys can let me know in my comments over there on the Homebrew Center YouTube how I'm doing.
Right. You're doing fine. Doing fine. And then I think we got some changes on the behind the scenes live stream. Is that right? I've been back in my office room all day when you're setting up, but briefly I heard some new changes. What's going on?
Well, tonight's the first night that we've been able to use our streaming software that includes the drip cam and the different scenes that we all can look at on TikTok. So TikTok.
Nice. Oh yeah, I forget about that.
TikTok is seeing everything YouTube is seeing
for
the first time.
They're getting the same viewing experience now, which they weren't before. That's awesome.
Round of applause from the people over on TikTok for our Adam here.
Yeah,
got you guys the better view. It is horizontal, so I think that's a little different than most lives you're probably looking at on TikTok. But
is it the kind of horizontal? If you turn your screen, it goes horizontal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turn your phone.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. So if you're viewing it straight up, I don't know if you've tried to turn her over there, but probably better.
Looks like the TikTok folks are approving of it.
Oh, good.
So I'm glad to hear that. I was wondering how it looked on your end, so I'm glad it's looking good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty slick. We've if you were one of the 6 or 7 people that were with us the first week we went live, You couldn't hear us. There was no.
Yeah.
We talk about it somewhat frequently on the live shows, but like we're coming a long way.
Yeah.
We're coming a long way.
Well, it's we're 17 episodes in, and it's, if you just make incremental improvements every week, we've now made 15 or so incremental improvements that have made it a lot better from that first night. So
Yeah.
Small steps, some weeks bigger than other. I would say this week probably a bigger step in terms of the TikTok. But it's not just, it used to be too. I should really put a story up or something on what our live, because I took some pictures of what our lives used to look like, and kind of they're not very dissimilar from what they look like now. But it's just, if you could see everything that is on the other side of this table, like my phone was up on a tripod. It was just crazy.
yeah.
I need a beverage. Beverage?
Yeah.
Beverage? Okay.
Thanks, sir. Okay, we've got 3/4 of a pint still in the jar. Looks like Winsong is defending the Duke.
Uncle Moonshine says he'll have one. Oopsie.
Whoopsie.
Uncle Moonshine's in the house.
Uncle Moonshine. You may recognize these fine koozies we're drinking out of. We're really getting our money's worth out of these things.
Yep. Everybody's agreeing they'll have a drink too. So,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah, sure.
And we're also going to be tasting, I guess a little bit later since we just got this.
Mystery bottle.
Mystery bottle, which we think I went ahead and put on the thumbnail that it is a lemon blueberry wine,
Lemon blueberry mead.
which is what we think it is. Every now and then I don't label things, as you all know.
We had a random half gallon sitting around there. Ooh, also learned a nice little hard lesson today. This thing was sitting in a half gallon bottle, and so I'm like, I'm going to get that thing out of there and get it over in a bottle. We're talking about trying it on the live, and I've been filtering all this whiskey today, and I'm like, I'll just filter, because a little half gallon, do I really want to get the auto siphon out and bottle one bottle with it and clean it?
Right.
So I'm like, I'll just pour it over through a coffee filter, through a funnel. Can't do it. Doesn't work. It was, I remarked to Cyrus that it was possibly the top, like definitely in the top 3 prettiest wines.
It was very pretty. It was very clear.
Pretty. It was really good looking. And then I poured it all through this coffee filter, and
now it doesn't look as great as it did. Still a great color though.
Yeah, good color. But before it was like, oof.
Glizzy's reviews. I made a mash the other week. Didn't have enough sugar. Wild yeast got to it. Overnight, started to work off. Yeast got stressed and made the hydrogen sulfide. The whole house stunk.
Girlfriend
was not happy. Yeah, girlfriend was not happy. I mean, sometimes they will put off a smell that is not awesome.
What are you talking about? His girlfriend or his ferment?
I'm assuming the ferment.
Yeah.
Glizzy, you gonna take that bottle?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Uncle Moonshine's doing a run right now. What are you running? First time I've done a run that got down to 80 proof and not into tails. What do you think he's running?
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Oh, I don't know.
80 proof, not in tails.
I don't have any idea what he's
You running a brandy?
I think. What else?
A lot of people are running brandies right now. I don't blame them. I feel like brandy's a wintertime ferment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Potato.
All those wintertime fruits. Potato. That's what we're running. Potato. You spelled potato with an E on the end? I spelled potato wrong in the live stream thumbnail then.
I don't often
I
spell
think
potato.
You put the E if there's an S.
An E if there's
potatoes.
Plural, you get an E. If it's
Singular
just one,
is-
it's potato without the E.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm one of those people that there's so many words I don't know how to spell. I'm always using Google just to look up.
Yeah, I don't spell too good
I'm
either.
terrible with spelling.
Yeah. Yep.
I was going to ask you guys if you've ever done anything with sweet potatoes or yams. Yeah.
We recently did some
Did we?
some
Was I
yam
here?
work. Well,
I don't remember.
It was part of the Christmas dinner.
Okay.
There were yams in that.
Okay.
But I have done a bourbon out of sweet potato, which I caught a lot of flack for.
Really?
Well, they didn't like the ingredient.
Doesn't make, it doesn't meet the real requirements to be a bourbon. And so,
Yeah. Not traditional enough.
Non-grain.
yeah. All of the, what do you call them? The people that are sticklers for the rules, the purists.
Yes, purists.
They got on me a little bit, but I'll tell you what, it was damn good. So I was happy.
That matters way more than everything else.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of that. I'm a stickler. I want to try to use the right terminology and, understand, what's the TTB guidelines on,
Right.
I get it.
Well, and that was the goal with this run, like making this potato vodka. I wanted to try and, stay as strict as I could to it.
But I've never commented on a video and went, technically,
you're not right.
that's not really what that is, actually. Joe Park says, I'm running breakfast cereal, but added honey bunches of oats. Anxious to see how it turns out. Ooh,
Interesting.
that could be slick.
Honey bunches of oats. That's a wheat-based cereal, isn't it? I think. Interesting.
The Iron Duke is letting everyone know that there's a recipe for, I'm going to try this out, poutine Irish potato vodka in the files section. What he's talking about is the Moonshine for Beginners group over on MeWe. So if you're watching this and you don't know what that is or you're not a member of that, I think up over 3,000 people strong now. Very good, helpful place to get good information.
Yeah, Tracy, she was just talking about how she's new, been watching a bunch of videos. Tracy, if you're not in the Moonshine for Beginners group, you should definitely jump in there. You'll learn as much in that group in a day as you will a week's worth of YouTubing. So
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Everyone's very friendly, very helpful. Also, cool place to bounce some ideas and just say, I tried this and I didn't, everything from transferring into a pot to all the way down to just recipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All kinds of good stuff.
We lost our chat.
Oh, you did? Man,
Yep.
that is giving me fits tonight.
You did?
Keeps disappearing on us. Garbage Thrown Daddy says MFB gang gang.
What a wild hand.
Yeah. I don't recognize Garbage Thrown Daddy from MFB. If you don't mind sharing, what's your handle over on MFB? Just so
He's
I'll
like,
know.
no, it's Garbage Stone Daddy. I'm more of a watcher, more of a viewer.
I'm lurking.
Yeah,
I'm always lurking.
Yeah.
We'll lose it for a second. Come back.
We do find that there are a lot of people that just lurk in the group and they just watch the chat, and
Yeah.
it happens a lot.
I'm guilty some days, for sure.
Oh, Josh Golden. Okay, brother.
Oh. Where's your handle, Garbage Stone Daddy?
How many? I can't read the count. How many people we got?
35 over on YouTube, 2 on Facebook,
And then, let's see.
7,200 on TikTok.
300 million people, roughly. There's 9 on TikTok.
9.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Iowa Free Thinker
What's up, brother?
in the house.
Look at Tiny Cusho. How's the drip cam looking, you guys?
Oh, she's...
Been trying to run it low and slow today. We're 4 pint jars in, and we got it going at. It started dripping probably around 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We knocked it. I mean, it was warming up, and then we knocked it down for.
Yeah, we compressed the heads for an hour, probably.
Go ahead. Let this little guy breathe here.
Uncle Moonshine says TikTok's messing up tonight.
Damn them.
I don't like to hear that.
Well, we are trying some new things on TikTok over there, so.
Trying some things. Tasting some things.
Got our fancy glasses out.
Can you guys see the chat?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
I don't know that it's scrolling. It could be. I just now looked up at it.
The last chat should be Iowa Freethinker.
Okay.
Iowa Freethinker asks, why do you put paper towels over your jars after a run? So like this, and we're actually using coffee filters right now, but we'll let that sit overnight. We're letting the most volatile alcohols evaporate within like a 24-hour period. It'll be a little easier on the nose, and it does change the taste a little bit. So I like to do that before I make cuts. So that's why. Uncle Moonshine says mine. Not. I don't know what that's
Glitching out a little over there on TikTok, but you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's glitching. Well, that's too bad.
Joe,
like I said,
Joe's comment.
Yeah, I like Joe's comments to me.
yeah, that's funny.
I usually have like the furrowed brow, like I'm on a mission thing going on. I don't even mean to.
Right. You're just deep in focus over there, making sure the show runs smoothly.
Yeah, tried.
All right, Tracy, have a good one. Okay.
Definitely blueberry in here.
And it's definitely a mead.
Yeah.
Not a wine.
Definitely a mead.
Dry.
Very dry.
Mm-hmm.
No back sweetening.
The lemon sure does come through at the end. I like it.
I think
I'm not
if
saying
you,
this is my favorite, but
you'd have to back sweeten it.
yeah, I think this
it
would
just
be
needs to
better sweet.
I think anything with a little citrus in it needs to be somewhat.
Probably.
You gotta have that
Good point.
a little bit of sweet with that sour.
Yeah.
At a minimum. And this is just fully dry.
Yeah. I think I would, 1 to 10, I put this around 5.5, 6. Kind of average.
I think it'd be,
Nothing special about it.
I think it'd be 8 with a little kick
Might
of
be.
sweet. Sometimes at the house too, if I'm trying wines or if I'm like thinking about racking off into another carboy, like while I'm doing that, I'll give it a little taste and try to start determining how much sugar I want to add.
Well, and we've got another gallon of this. Maybe we back sweeten that one and then compare it.
No, well, and sometimes too, what I would do on a situation like this, where you have some, or maybe you already bottled some dry that you want to go a little wetter with, like sometimes I'll just take a little spoon of sugar or something and just kind of see what that does for it. And
Not exact, but kind of gives you an idea.
yeah. Just give me. I want to add just a little hint of sweet in this. I'll pour a big glass, put a little sugar over in there, mix it up really good.
Yeah. Okay. Flatland Hillbilly just switched to YouTube. Good to see you. Windsong GTD. I don't know what that is.
Ooh, mom with the jar call out. Look at that.
All right.
He's learning.
Are we worried about the jar? Yes.
We are worried about the jar.
Yes.
Gary says jar cam looking nice, fellas.
Good.
Rob Backwoods, Rob's in the house, switched over from TikTok to YouTube, looks like. Lots of hellos going on. Does anyone know how Red from the Shine Shack is doing? I know he was from Western North Carolina, and they were hit hard. Yeah, so he has not put out. I did talk to him, and he's fine. His family's fine. He hadn't put out any videos in a while because of that hurricane. He's been helping friends and family, get their lives back in order. But yeah, he is okay, and he's coming back to YouTube. We'll just see, how long it takes. But yeah, he's good. Jason Acosta's in the house. Good to see you, brother.
What's up, Jason?
I noticed Jason's putting out a few TikToks.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's been putting out quite a few. Maybe he always was putting out regular TikToks, and I just wasn't catching them.
I think it's more now.
That's what it seemed like to me.
There. Welcome to the tribe, brother. Yeah, everyone's bailing on. We may probably, guys, what we'll do on the TikTok side of things is we'll probably, it's different this week. We'll try to end it, cut it off, maybe start it back, see if that corrects the issue. Sometimes you can just get a buggy live. I've come to find it. I'm used to just on my phone, like, let me just end this and start it back up, and it fixes the issue.
Yeah, that's not how it
Which,
works.
Adam, you're totally, if you want to cut the TikTok live, I don't know how easy it is for you, but
yeah,
you can cut it off and just start it back.
It's a problem with the website we use to stream the TikTok. Everything looks good on our end. I can't figure out why it's doing that on TikTok. So
don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
For everyone that is watching over on TikTok, you can migrate over to the Still in the Clear YouTube channel. It may be better for you there.
Yep.
Big Ed's Gun said, cold enough in your neck of the woods to freeze distill some wine. Brother, you're not lying lately. Man, that's it's been cold.
Been really ridiculous.
Oh, Winsong says GTD is quicker than writing garbage trick. Okay. She wrote GTD earlier, and I had no idea what that was short for. Rescue Captain switched over here to YouTube from TikTok.
Welcome aboard, brother.
How much packing do y'all use in your columns when using copper mesh?
Different?
Yeah, it depends on what we're doing. Sometimes I don't even pack a column, but there's 3 rolls in the column, and then there's a stuffed some up in the deflagmator also. In fact, we'll be having an intermission here in a little bit where we show the video of how we did the column and everything, how we packed it. It's part of the intermission video that you'll see here in a little bit.
Jason Acosta said he did a fully clothed snow. Not sure what you,
snow angel.
Not sure what
he
you
did
mean.
A snow angel.
Oh, cool.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I never gonna get past that one.
No. Do you guys buy any liquor or only drink what you make? I distill all the time, but still find myself going on bourbon hunts for Elijah Craig and other bourbons.
Maybe different for, I don't know. Are you ever going and just buying any store-bought bourbon?
No, I haven't in a long time. The last whiskey I bought, and it wasn't a bourbon if I'm not mistaken, but it was probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was some Pendleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so to answer your question from my end, yeah, I'll still Woodford Reserve or, I like Buffalo Trace. I like Pendleton. I still like all that stuff. I still do. Yeah. And I think you don't have to, right? But to try to chase things out of certain store-bought whiskeys, I mean, these are big companies that have been distilling for a long time, and they kind of really know what they're doing, and they're really finite on aging and getting certain tastes and uniformity, all that good stuff. I think it's, yeah. I'll still pedal around with the little store-bought.
Yeah. I'm not a collector, so I'm not out there trying to find a specific bottle or anything like that.
I'm not a collector either, but my liver loves to collect.
Right.
really
Yeah.
avid collector.
And another problem I had, like, I know there's some really good whiskeys and bourbons out there. But I, like the last time I was in the liquor store, I was poking around when we were putting the wine kits in there. Remember? Yeah. And I don't remember what it was now, but there was something on the shelf. I thought, oh, that'd be, give that a try. And it was like $78. I was like, maybe not.
Expensive taste, brother. Yeah. I don't normally,
because I'm cheap ass. That's how I roll.
Well, I get it.
Oh no, garbage! It's no surprise. The folks who are here usually regularly, they know what's coming.
Yeah,
and it was also just before we start the live. It plays before we come on live. So
yeah, if you're here waiting before the live kicks off every week, you get that shot of it's anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes of us, prepping the still, telling you about the mash, all that good stuff. It'll play again every intermission. We generally take intermissions on the top of the hour, so sometimes when we're doing a little bit of an extended show, we'll take another one at 8 and go for another 30 minutes or so. But generally, top of every hour. If you missed it on the front end, you'll get it later.
Yeah. Tim says, I stopped buying when the local store wanted everyone to come dressed as a wizard. I mean, that might get me to go in there. I mean, that kind of...
Hold on. Again, like sometimes things will happen in this live where it's like, yeah, we're not going to not talk about that. First off, what are you talking about?
You don't want to blow right past that one.
I stopped buying when the local store wanted everyone to come dressed as a wizard. Tim, you're going to have to explain that more. Also, you're going to have to give us the name of that liquor store. Okay, I want to maybe possibly, if it's like a wizard themed liquor store, I want that on an Adam search.
Right.
So we'll touch back on that. I just have no idea what that means.
Yeah. How a free thinker takes his to camp house, birthday parties, get-togethers, friends, hunting trips. I mean, that's probably one of the best things about the hobby is being able to share it.
Easily.
I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to share what you've made. And especially when you get reactions like, wait, you made this?
Oh, yeah. It's nice handing someone something and they're like, whoa, they just take a second to be like, man, this is good.
Yeah.
First off, thanks. But yeah, also I'm a money saver too.
Yeah. Joe says
I give out so much. Apple pie and wine
Yeah. Joe says I can make a lot of cornshine for $78. No doubt. No doubt.
I love Joe so much. We gotta have a Joe cam on here one of these days. Where we just invite her on for a few minutes or something. Get her Zoom hooked up. I promise you I have more questions for Joe than Joe has for me.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you swapped one. I forgot.
Yeah, I switched them out. Set it over there at the end. Probably what we'll do is we'll put her around here for another 10 minutes or so. We'll take an intermission. And then when we come back in the next segment, we'll do the guest approved for the grain kit giveaway. If you guys missed it earlier, we're going to be giving a grain kit away of your choosing should you be the first person to correctly guess the proof of the 4th jar of this run. We'll give you some hints before because it's an oddball number. If you saw the jar, if you knew the proof of the jar before it and the jar after it, it would be really hard to get.
Yeah.
But it was in that period where our deflagnator stopped, or our condenser stopped pushing, and there was some weird stuff going on with the still, and we weren't paying attention to it. So, oh, I like this kind of chatter. We're shouting out some grain prices. I like this. $68 would buy 6 bags of 50-pound corn, a lot of corn liquor, or get some barley with less corn. 78, not 60. I love talking. I love talking grain.
Right. I found myself looking for gins, but I can't make a gin for nothing. LOL, just enjoy my corn and rise. Yeah, gin requires, I mean, I don't know what kind of still you've got, Josh. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, gin requires, a tower setup of some sort. It's hard to do a gin with like a regular pot still. In fact, I would say, like, I can't do a gin with just a pot.
JT said, is there anyone out there lobbying for the legalization of home distilling? Wouldn't that be great? JT, yes. There is a federal case out of Texas that the appeal has expired on. The Hobby Distillers Association versus
PTB.
I can't remember the planet. I can't remember the defendant.
Yeah.
It was a... Oh, it'll come back to me here in a second. But if you Google Hobby Distillers Texas court case, it'll be the first one to pop up. It was decided in June, I believe. Just go look at that. Yeah, there are groups that are throwing money at those kind of issues for sure.
And winning
and getting good outcomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clinton says gin is easy if you
use a vodka to start with.
Use a vodka to start with, even in a pot still. I mean, Clinton's got some experience on that. I don't.
Man, is that regulator hissing again, or is this just me?
That's your tinnitus this time.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What did you think about the mead?
Well, so okay, I can't really score it right now because I have been blowing my nose like crazy all day long. I can barely taste anything.
Right.
So to me, it tastes like chloroseptic, like the stuff you spray back your throat.
Yeah, it's off.
That's I'm only picking up like the bitter, nothing good. So like I'm gonna drink it, but
yeah,
I can't score anything right now. I
really think I might do the sugar. I might set the sugar up for when we come back, but I'm gonna probably get. I'll finish this one. It's like everyone else is saying. It's all right. It's a mead.
Yeah.
But I think with this recipe, with the blueberry, especially with if this is the blueberry lemon,
it is because I can.
It's got to be right. I think it's got to be. So knowing that the citrus part of this, it really needs some sweet. I think to get a dry citrusy wine, I think you have to almost make a sour. Has to be a ton of sour taste in it, not just a little hint. I think that the citrus side of things pairs really well with just a little bit of sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that out probably when we come back and see if it makes a difference.
Yeah.
The conclusion may be the same, that like, oh, this is just going to be okay, and it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Charlene Henderson is in the house. That might be too much thinking for some of our old brains.
I love that name, Charlene.
Clinton, yeah. That's Richard's wife. Clinton says macerate in a jar, dump in boiler, and if you have a thumper, toss the spent herbs in there with a little water to reinfuse. Still as would. Still as you normally would, I guess.
Ah.
Awesome.
Terry Depew says, I make gin in my air still.
Yeah.
I love that comment too.
I mean, I've never done.
Are those
anything,
the 1 gallons?
Yeah, I've never done anything with the little air
Dude,
still.
okay, Terry Depew, I want your perspective on this.
Which is, in case you guys don't know, Terry Depew is Hillbilly Glass Barrel.
Okay.
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Terry. But
so I want your opinion. Talk to me about what you like about the air still. Also talk to me about going through all the labor of making a small ferment or only distilling a gallon at a time and getting, like, what's your typical yield out of a gallon? I know that's going to change based off of your mash, ABV, and all that good stuff, but like, I don't, it's for some people. Clearly it's for some people.
Yeah.
Help me understand why.
It's easy. Like those little stills, it's my understanding you just turn them on and walk away. And that's it. I don't know that for sure. Yeah, just the simplicity of it, I think. But to me, the reason I've never even been interested in getting one, and I may still get one just so that I can do the experiments and all that. And
I almost want to just get one at this point just to say like, oh, yeah, me too.
to be able to say something about it with some experience.
Yeah.
But to me, it just seems like making cuts would be
Impossible.
impossible. I mean, unless you're just taking half shot glasses throughout the entire run, I don't know how you would. Anyway, that's my take on it. I don't think cuts would be very easy on one of those.
Well, I get the ferment side of things too. If you just make a big ferment and you just pull some off.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. Like if it's just an inside little, I just look at it as like a meme still almost, where it's like, oh, I'm just doing this because it's kind of a fun thing to do and see what I can do or accomplish with an air still, and maybe I can make because I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can make an awesome bourbon or whiskey or spirit with an air still.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know either. That's why I kind of want to.
I just have my doubts. Well, Terry uses them, so you could just let us know. How do you control your run and make cuts with a 1 gallon air still? Or I think some of them are like 1.8 gallons. I think they have some that are a little small.
He says you have to start with. Also, he is public glass barrels. You have to start with high proof and make stuff like gins or absinthe or flavored shine because a mash tastes terrible through the air still.
Oh, okay.
So.
Scott McNeil says Jesse from Still It uses the air still a lot. Well, I mean, he knows a lot about distilling.
Looks like the TikTok stream is doing better over there. Backwood says doing great. A few hiccups. Uncle Moonshine says it's better, but they're not commenting on comments. Uncle Moonshine, that's my bad, brother. We're not commenting on comments.
It might just be on them.
That's just a me issue.
Get it going.
There's no application or computer program that's going to fix that for us.
I did see, and it scrolled up, but I did see that Charlene was talking about her blueberry hibiscus.
Oh, yeah.
Is phenomenal. It is awesome.
She said off the chain.
Off the chain, yeah.
Chain line.
Good stuff.
I can call a spade with the best of them. I was handing that blueberry hibiscus to guys coming in asking about Mead, like, hey, you should look what you could make if everything goes great.
Right.
Like I was giving them little pours of that. I was bragging on it pretty hard.
Yeah, it is good. All right, folks, just a quick red light challenge on the road, watching the replay later. Don't even know what that means. I don't know. What's a red light challenge?
Just a quick red light. Oh, maybe he pulls up to a red light, gets on his phone.
See if he can type something real quick.
Watching the replay later. All right, Terry. Richard's trying a trial run. Wait, I'm trying a trial with cherry rum now.
Okay. Nice. Interesting.
Everyone that comes in saying like, oh, I'm running. We had a guy today with the cherry. Said it too much like cough syrup.
Yeah, on the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've heard that before. I've gotten people like when they're playing with cherry flavors or they're doing that, they've had a hard time combating that. Reminds me of a cough syrup, or it's too syrupy, or it's.
Yeah.
I think cherry is something that's like.
Cherry's tough.
Use it in moderation because it seems like a little will go a long way.
Yeah. I've now fermented a few small 1 gallon deals with maraschinos. Mm-hmm. They almost always come out cough syrupy.
The Viking's blood didn't.
Well,
but that was a small amount of cherries though too.
It was a smaller amount, and it was also like heavy on the honey, so I think it balanced it. But still, I was like,
yeah,
it wasn't bad, but cherries are tough. Have you ever used the Mile High Thumper with the 8 gallon behind you? I have not, Tim. I don't even have one of the Mile High Thumpers. Maybe I need to shout at him. See if give that a shot.
Come on, Mile High. Send this to him.
Yeah. Where are we on time? Is it time for
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're right there.
okay.
Why don't we do that? Yeah, we'll cut a little intermission here. You guys are going to get to see everything that went into this run prior to when we flip the cameras on. There's also a little bit in there about how we set the still up. So we will leave you guys here for a second to watch that, and we'll be right back here shortly. Also, when we come back, the grain giveaway.
The grain giveaway.
The grain
and
giveaway.
Iron Duke is jumping off. I want to be sure and say good night. It's late where he is, or early, I think.
Yeah, we looked that up last
really
week.
early where he
It
is,
was
I
like
think.
2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
All right, Duke. Thanks for being here with us, brother. Everyone else, we're going to be right here, right back here shortly. We'll see you here just in a second.
All right, so for the live stream tonight, we ended up with maybe 6 gallons-ish of wash after we siphoned it off of the batch, and there was a lot of liquid, a lot of silt from that potato. Those mashed potatoes, I mean, tossed out maybe 8 inches of potato silt down in the bottom. So we lost a lot of liquid because that was a 10-gallon batch, and we were ending up with maybe 6 gallons, possibly 5.5. So lost a lot, but I guess you could take the time to screen all that out and try and get all of that liquid cleared up from the mashed potatoes, but I wasn't going to take the time to do it. I'm okay with a little bit of loss on the final yield. And we let this we did that yesterday, and so we let it set overnight, hoping to get a little more sediment. This bucket was pretty clear because this was the first bucket that we did. We've already done a couple of runs where we were working on getting 190 proof with just some corn liquor. And what we found was it was pretty difficult. You've got to be able to adjust the water coming into the deflag. Sometimes you want it full blast, and at other times you just barely want it going through, but you've got to be able to adjust it. And we were having a hard time because we had one pump in the reservoir, and then that pump had a line that was teed off. One line was going here, and then one was going to the condenser. And every time we would adjust this line, it would also affect the condenser line, made it very difficult. So we've changed this setup. We're running 2 pumps. One pump that is for the deflag that we have the adjustable valve on, and the other pump will just be running the condenser. It'll be running full blast the whole time because you don't really have to adjust that one. And we want to make sure the cold water is coming into the bottom and it fills that pipe up and then overflows out. If you, on the pre-condenser or the deflag, if you come in the top, the water's kind of falling through the pipe, you can end up with like air pockets and things like that. And so, plus on the deflag, you want the vapor hitting the coldest part of the section first, and then moving through, and this section will be slightly warmer. It's not that much difference because there's only 5 inches there. But so that's one change that we made to this setup. All right, so again, we've got a separate pump for the condenser, and the cold water is running into the bottom. Always run the cold water into the bottom. The reason for that is you've got this long pipe, and one section of this pipe is going to be warmer than the other. You want your coldest water at the bottom end of the pipe, and your warmer water up here exiting and going back into your reservoir. Kind of reverse from this up here. You want your vapor touching the coldest water first when it gets to the reflux zone, and you want your vapor hitting the warmest water first when it's getting condensed back into liquid for your final product. We're all set up now to run, and we'll get this heat turned on. We will also plug in our pumps long before we need them because it'll take a while for everything to heat up, but I like to just check for leaks because I don't want to find out there's a leak later when now we need to be condensing vapor into liquid. So
And we're back.
We are back.
Yeah,
Halftime entertainment, Scott says. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. It seems like I saw a coffee order maybe going down in the chat. Richard, I'm due for a refill as well. If you have the time, of course.
Oh, yeah. They were talking about the Kahlua. Windsong's Kahlua.
Oh, yeah, man.
That
stuff is...
And by the way, we've just about killed the one that's here at the shop.
Pretty much gone.
We might want to reorder on that.
Replenish.
It looks like Backwoods sent teddy bears on TikTok.
Backwoods.
Teddy bears.
Appreciate the teddy bears, brother.
I think that's what that is.
Appreciate the gift, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I have a question for the chat to see if they can notice a difference in my beard. I've been using a beard product now for, 2 weeks?
A little over, maybe.
And I can't tell because, I look at my beard and all I can tell is that it's not as wild as it usually is.
It's made a difference.
But one thing I do know is it smells good.
Yeah.
It smells good and feels much better.
I was going through periods where sometimes my beard would just smell like whatever I had eaten previously. Didn't fully enjoy that. I will say from the smell perspective, it has gotten immensely better.
Yeah.
Also mine, like not as long as yours. And so kind of whenever it's this length, it just can go all over the place. It's like dry. It hurt. My face hurts. That's not happening anymore. So I will say I like that about it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bad Juju over on TikTok.
Bad Juju Beard Company.
Bad Juju Beard Company.
Yeah.
Yep. He's a real one. He helped me out in more than one way. So Brian D said, I'm not far from Fort Smith. Just wondering if you have any recommendations for where I can find some Jimmy Red and Ohio Blue Corn. Can you get that through LB Carlson?
We cannot get that, but my recommendation for those are usually Philbilly on YouTube.
Yeah,
he usually carries some of the heirloom stuff. You can usually get it. He's got farmers near him.
He has some of that green corn too.
He gets it straight from the farmer. So that's where I always tell people to go.
He's got some really cool corn connections.
Yeah, I'm looking for a supplier for that kind of corn, but hadn't hooked that up yet.
We're working on it. Right now, Philbilly, though, good selection. It seems like it's kind of one of those things that I think he's getting it pretty local to where he's at. And so it kind of rotates what he can get, when he can get it. But
but it's pretty regular too. Like
good place to go look. Yeah.
Yes. When did you guys start tonight? 5 p.m. We always start at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm not sure where you are, Jack. Don't remember. Probably said at some point.
Yeah, he said before.
Is
He
that,
told us. I can't remember.
is that one of the Mitten fellas? I don't know. Where you at, Jack? Anyway. So yeah, the live stream tonight is probably going to be a little shorter than normal since, we usually go a couple hours, but I think we're on our last jar maybe.
Yeah, probably on the last.
Swirl a little sugar in there
Let's just see if that kicks it over the edge a little bit.
Jack is from Michigan. Backwoods says go Bad Juju Beard Co. Yeah, that's right. Backwoods.
Oh yeah, he was our
customer of his also. Good stuff. It really is.
It really is.
My wife has forever been trying to get me to do a little maintenance kind of stuff, and I've always been just, you work construction, like, why am I going to, like, I come home smelling bad, looking bad, like, I never have any nice clothes, like, why would I mess with that? But nowadays things are a little different. So
my wife would just be like, hey, you should shave your beard. Like, you should just
wash it, please.
Yeah. Or do something.
I don't even do it for the scents, really.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's the conditioning of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make a difference.
Yeah, and now you're able to keep it a certain, it doesn't...
Face isn't dry.
Face isn't dry. Like, that's the main... For me, it's conditioning the beard that makes me, like the product.
Yeah, they got all kinds of cool stuff, too. Like, I used a beard wash this morning.
Yeah.
Which I don't use that every time. But, once at the beginning of the week, once at the end of the week, and then I try to throw the oil in every day, though.
Yeah.
Helped out a lot. Let's see if that did any kind of a significant change, adding a little bit of sweet.
How many people we got in the chat there?
Yeah.
You've got 40 on YouTube, 41 on YouTube, 2 on Facebook, and drum roll, 3 on TikTok.
3 on TikTok. Well, we had several migrate from TikTok.
That's true. I think it's improved. I think I may have figured something out. So,
Difference maker.
Is it?
Yeah, it just needs a little sweetening.
Okay. Backwoods says, I ride a Harley. It used to feel like a Brillo pad. I can only imagine if on a bike, like mine would just be
June bugs and shit. Just dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not riding.
I've seen plenty of those guys like that. They'll have the big beard and it's just parted. I mean,
yeah. Some of those guys, like they'll braid them, they'll do all this.
Oh yeah.
I don't blame.
Yeah.
I can imagine because like
tucking into the shirt.
Yeah, do a little shirt tuck.
Yeah, this might surprise you guys, but for a long time, working construction out in the middle of summer, it's hot as hell. I got this long hair. My wife would do like cornrows in my hair and my beard.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta get it.
It's pretty wild. I got a lot of looks.
Can we get a picture of
I
that
want to
somewhere?
see a picture of that. I hope you have one somewhere.
Let's get one of those over in the MeWe so Adam can pull it from over there.
Yeah.
We can get it up on the screen or something.
That's good. Yeah. I don't know if she's got any pictures of that or not.
I hope so.
I know I don't.
I hope she does.
I'm not like a selfie kind of person, so I know I don't have any.
Let's get a little payback for the snow angel screenshots here.
But she didn't call it cornrows. She called it something else. Plats or plates or platted or pleated or I don't know what she called it. But like she did it for me one year and I was like, damn, this makes a difference. Like so much cooler. Like wet my hair down in the middle of a hot summer day and it just stays wet longer and keeps my head cooler. And yeah, it worked for sure.
She says she's got pics.
Dude, drop
I would
them.
love to see that.
Drop them, okay? Help me.
Yeah, Scott McNeil, bold pics. Yeah, I imagine they'll be floating around now.
Dude, I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
I did get a few looks, a few sideways glances
Sure.
every now and then.
Sure. Like, well, I was going to meet with the city of Fort Smith police. You know, we've got something coming up, and we're planning with them, and we're, you know, so I'm having to go over there and meet with them, and I'm telling them what we're thinking about doing. And I'm going, I know you're probably looking at me, and you're like, no way, this guy is not. Like one of them looked at me. He was like, no, man, it's on brand. It cracks. yeah, no, we get it.
That's funny.
Where are we at over there? Got a little bit of cloud in that final jar. Well, I guess what we could do is go ahead and maybe try to hint around and help the chat out a little bit before we do the guest approve. So up until now, that's the 6th jar working. Our first jar came off at 180. Second jar came off at 182. Third jar came off at 180. Fourth jar went weird. You can guess, did we get a higher proof? Did we get a lower proof? I will just say it is drastically different than the third jar, its predecessor at 180. The fourth jar came out considerably different, one way or the other. We're not going to guess yet. I'm not going to look at Joe. Joe's in there on it. All right. So we're not going to guess just quite yet. I just want you to know we're guessing on this fourth jar of this run, and it was in between. Should we tell them what the fifth jar came out at? Because that's going to make it maybe even harder.
It'll make it harder. Right. Well,
Well, let's do this. Let's do this.
So you don't have to guess the proof, first of all. It's going to be closest without going over.
Well,
I suspect no one's going to guess it.
Let's guess. Let's do an exact number on this fourth jar. And if someone gets it, they get it, and it comes with a lot of bragging rights. If that doesn't happen, we'll move on to the fifth jar, and it will be closest without going over.
All right, let's do that then. All right, so now we think Charlene's guessing too, so
we'll just unleash you guys on it. Okay, you can start putting your guesses into the chat now. 1 was 180, 2 was 182, 3 was 180. The fourth jar is what we're guessing. Place your bets.
And Dan the man is asking, what temp is the product / room? I don't
70.
Yeah, 70, 72-ish.
It's room temp.
And we're not, Dan, I don't know if this is why you're asking. We're not adjusting for temperature. We take the hydrometer reading. We use that reading. We don't adjust. We don't make the adjustment because we're not being that specific.
I like that he's dialing in that hard on it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, maybe I need to adjust a proof down, proof up. This number is so wildly different than the other jars that is not going to really factor in.
Yeah. And did we already tell the price? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a grain kit of your choosing. So if you are the first one to correctly guess the proof of the fourth jar here, which you guys can go ahead and start guessing now. If you're that
187 and a 195.
Wait, what?
We got a 187 and a 195.
If you are that first person to guess correctly the fourth jar, you are going to get a grain kit of your choosing. You'll go over to stillandtheclear.com. You'll pick one out. You'll message us, give us your shipping address, get it out to you.
Yeah, don't order it.
Don't order it online. Don't pay for it. Just let us know what you want and your shipping address. And I think our chat might be.
We have Dan the man is the last one we have here.
How about?
Yeah. So they jumped up. It jumped up there. Yeah. Hey, can you scroll back up a little bit on these? I want to.
No.
Jason's in the house.
What do you want to see?
Nope.
What do you want to see? Because
Clinton has 182. Brian has 178.
Are you guessing a proof?
Yeah.
Do we have a number?
Yeah, I've got the number here.
But no one knows it yet.
No one knows it yet.
Oh, I see. Okay. There's a lot of guesses. I can scroll up.
Well, we'll scroll up once we let everyone get in here.
Yeah.
Duke Cannon, the great soap maker. Fourth jar is 164. Probably not the Duke Cannon. I'm thinking of the soap that you buy in the store. Isn't it called Duke Cannon?
Oh,
Could be.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Could
good
be.
stuff.
Yeah.
Duke, big fan of your stuff.
Big fan of your stuff, my friend. 170, 191, 183. Looks like maybe Jason Trasinski has been lurking because that's the first chat I've noticed. He's coming out with the guests.
Big Jason.
Richard Henderson sent you a pic of the Kahlua and some iced coffee. Ooh. Kahlua and iced coffee. Didn't even think of that
little
one.
cold brew situation.
Yeah.
We need to get a press over here.
I'll tell you.
I got one of those. I'm going to bring it over.
Probably the best thing with that Kahlua, Winsong makes what I call the Cocoa Joe Supreme. And it's like hot cocoa,
like the
a little
name
bit
of
of coffee. She puts whipped cream on it, puts a little cinnamon in it. I don't know what else she does to it. But she also puts a little Kahlua in there. And, oh, my gosh.
All right, well, let's see what we got. You guys guessed. We'll cut them off at 622 there. Oh, there's one more came in. It's not going to be it.
Duke Cannon, I use it, but not me. Sorry, boys. All right.
Adam.
Yes.
Do we got a 135 in the chat?
Let's scroll way up.
Everybody's like, what?
No, you can't do that.
Oh, wow.
I told you it was going to be wildly different.
I do have something under that. Hang on, let me keep looking. So it was closest without going over, right?
No, this one's head on.
Oh, nobody. No.
Nobody with the 135.
The next one we're going to do closest without going
It's
over.
going to be a Price is Right situation.
Okay, yeah, nobody. I mean, I guess the only people close were Jack Longberry, 125, and Scott McNeil, 142, both on YouTube.
I like the way you guys are thinking. As Cyrus correctly assumed, like, I don't think any shot anyone's getting that one. I was kind of surprised to see a couple so close.
Yeah.
That said, the fifth jar is right in that neighborhood. It's
140.
It's
yeah. But that was the one there. I thought they were guessing this one. Sorry, my friend.
All right, you're good with this one.
I didn't know that was your plan.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, yeah, fifth jar came off at 140. You guys are going to be guessing this last one. I have no idea what it's going to be at. I would assume, just using my deductive reasoning, that it's going to have to be lower than 140. I could be absolutely wrong about that. We're running it pretty slow. It could be higher. I don't know.
Yeah. It is a pretty slow little drip. It is a bit cloudy.
Well, and 4 was 135. 5 picked up to 140. Who's to say 6 won't be
higher than 140?
Yeah,
Could be. Yeah.
Could be. Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Richard is asking, was the deflag problem corrected before jar 4?
We didn't have a deflag problem until jar 4. Jar 4 was the deflag problem. It was fixed. Then the fifth jar came up 5 proof higher. Do with that information what you will. You guys are well educated, well read. You've run some stills. You probably know and have a good educated guess coming in. That said, I don't know what this next jar is.
I don't either.
Because it could do that thing too, where it'll kind of crash off and it'll dive down to like 80.
Yeah. Jason says, I was on the phone call. What the jar was.
Jason, you got it. You actually hit the nail on the head, but you were disqualified because you weren't in the chat at the time.
You were on the phone, doesn't count. No, it was 135, Jason.
135, and then jar 5 is 140. We're going to proof jar 6 here, and you guys are going to get a crack at jar 6 on the guess the proof Someone's winning it. You just can't go over.
Price is Right rules.
Price is Right rules. Closest to the pin without going over. And I'll say this too. You hit it right on the head, I'm gonna toss a koozie your way as well. I'm tossing in a koozie if you manage to hit it nail on the head.
How many people got in the chat there, boss?
39 in YouTube, 2 on Facebook, 41 on YouTube, 2 on Facebook.
And 3 on TikTok.
Something's happening over there. They don't like me tonight. That's all right. It's okay. They're all like, you know what? Here, you know what really bugs me too? When they were campaigning for TikTok to not be disbanded by the U.S. government, they're like freedom of speech, and we want people to be able to have their platform. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, yeah, well, I feel like I'm in a communist jail every time I'm on TikTok.
Right.
You guys are just restricting me for things I didn't even do.
Right.
I'm having to lodge.
You're making up things to restrict me.
Yeah, I'm like lodging complaints every week. Like I don't even know what that word means, let alone that I did it. So I think that's a bunch of hula. Like,
yeah,
it was like what Twitter was before Elon Musk bought the company, and they like fired thousands of people. That it's their whole job was just to like censor and redact tweets. Like
that interview, he says, it turns out you don't need that many employees when you don't censor.
Yeah. Oh shit, Bennett's in here.
Bennett's in the house. He says backwoods, the one and only, right? Where you been, Bennett? We start at 5. I don't know what,
dude.
like,
You're an hour and a
here
half
it
late,
is,
dude.
6:30. You're just rolling in.
Probably somewhere hitting on his wife. It's a lot of his YouTube or a lot of his TikTok content is just him. You're gonna get it, girl. Which she does well with that kind of thing too. I'll say from what's her handle on there? Miss Bennett or Peaches something.
I think she's got more than one account.
Oh yeah. She knows how to handle them pretty good at this point.
Yeah,
it's good for her.
Yeah.
Some of us have jobs. Bennett, you don't have a job. First off. Oh.
I mean, I don't even know what you're trying to say. Like, I have a job. Is he trying to say I don't have a job? I mean, you can ask Winsong. I think she would agree. I have a job.
Barely, but we do spend a lot of money. Like, yeah, we do for sure.
It is hard to call it a job. But...
Yeah. Oh God.
Then it says Bennett Peach. That must be
that's his wife's handle. I thought.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this blueberry lemon mead with
give me a little.
I'm telling you, it is the difference maker. Adam, if you bring your goblet over here, I'll drop you a little sugar in it. You can swirl it around. It's immensely better.
It's
he's like, it's useless.
At this point, there's
I taste nothing.
I can't taste anything.
Adam, this is Adam's flu game.
Yeah.
We're already getting lots of guesses on the next jar. We hadn't pulled.
They don't count. They don't count. If you already guessed in jar 6, they don't count.
You can't guess until we pull the jar.
Also, maybe that's for your protection, because we're not going to scroll that far back up into the chat to see, like, oh, did they guess it?
Yeah, you could guess it. You could be right, and we won't know because it's too far up to scroll the chat. Because the live stream is wildly popular, and the chats are way too just crazy. Chasing What's Beneath Water. That's a pretty cool handle. I like that.
Wait, what?
Chasing What's Beneath Water on YouTube.
A scuba diver?
Thanks for jumping in here.
You a scuba diver? You're a fisherman? Gold prospected?
Oh.
Oh, what does that mean?
There's Winsong says there's no better job
than helping people.
Than helping people. I think she means,
I know what
yeah.
you mean.
That helping people.
Yeah, Bennett said I only make liquor on TV. For you guys that don't know, Bennett's over in the TikTok chat. He is full on Hollywood on the Moonshine. I think he's forgotten about us. He only comes in here to accost us, give us a hard time, laugh at us, and then he leaves.
Makes jokes about us.
I remember. One day I'll be up to like you one day, Bennett, and I'll remember this. Fine.
Jason says, unfortunately, most of us can't drink on the job.
Those
like
of you that venture into my workday lives when I'm packing have probably seen me have a couple beverages on the workplace. Jeremy Roberts, what's up, brother?
Jeremy Roberts in the house from TikTok. Daniel Stevens on YouTube, which is also Bennett. Trying to be sneaky. I came slumming on the tube. Well,
what do you mean by that, brother?
I mean, honestly, Daniel, I think the experience is better on YouTube, but
I tell people that all the time.
I'm also biased.
I tell people that all the time. I push people out of my TikTok chat all the time. I'm like, you should go to YouTube. It's better over there.
Joe says you can make for it when you get home. You can make for it when you get home, Jason. I'm not sure. I think I've missed some chats.
Is it the Mead working on me, or is it the Mead working on you guys that you can't type? I don't know. Sometimes I read something 2 or 3. I'm like, no, that's right.
Jeremy says he's sipping on some rye whiskey. That's awesome.
Rye whiskey. Cloudy over there on the jar cam. Probably a little bit harder to see from your guys' perspective. It's really, in the grand scheme of things, it's not super cloudy, but...
Can you guys tell? That's a good question.
Yeah.
On the jar cam, can you tell that it's cloudy?
Look at the jar cam, make an assessment, let us know.
It's the bourbon working on Joe. Yeah, the breakfast. That's right. She said that earlier. Scott says YouTube is better than Kitty Talk. That's funny.
You like that one, right?
Yeah. Flatland says it looks cloudy. Backwood says not really.
No, we would have to be right up on it.
Oh, dang, Jason.
Can't really tell.
Jason Acosta over on YouTube said temp dropped down to 20 last night. Mash was at 46 degrees, so I guess that aquarium heater works. I don't know, man. 40.
It's above 20.
It's not frozen solid. Shit, buddy. 46 degrees, brother. You gotta like breathe on that thing or something. It's too cold still.
Take it to bed with you.
Y'all are used to that down there in Louisiana, and I get that. We're not. Man.
Yeah, they're calling this the snowstorm of 2025.
Global warming my ass. Al Gore can go
4
eat
inches
shit.
down
I
there.
believe in global cooling.
That Al Gore can go eat shit.
Well, we only had till like 2015 by his words anyway. Oh, God. Did you see that TikTok where it said, one day on the job and Trump has already solved global warming?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was funny too. I thought that earlier. We got wrapped up talking about other stuff, but you were like, anything big happened this week? And we were like, oh no, not really.
New president?
Trump took office Monday, so I don't know. It's gonna be a great time.
I've already done more in 4 days than Sleepy Joe did in 4 years.
Tremendous progress. We have the best people, good people, strong people. A lot of people are saying.
Everyone is saying
the strongest.
Yeah, that is better with a little sweetness. I agree.
Oh yeah, 100%. It just needs to be sweetened up a little bit. Also, through my own fault when I was filtering this instead of just racking it like I should have, even though it was only a half gallon, I was only get roughly a bottle out of it. I should have just took the extra time, racked it out of there like I kind of assumed that I probably should have. I was taking a gamble on trying to filter it. By the way, if you're not going to filter it through a coffee filter.
Doesn't work.
Not going to happen. Now, if you have an elaborate, now someone in the chat, I can already tell, I've got a 4 coffee filter system that's not what I did. I put a coffee filter in a funnel. It didn't work.
Right.
So, yeah, I think racking that 1 gallon into the bottles, or sweetening it up, maybe racking it, sweetening it up. I don't know. Also, did we neutralize that?
If we did, it's on the data sheet. I don't know if we did or not. Duke says, you want cloudy? I got a jar I did today. Yeah, it happens. Chasing What's Beneath Water says, stripping run, what's the best method of distilling?
Hasn't been neutralized.
So the best method of distilling depends on a number of things. First, it depends on what your definition of best is. Do you mean cheapest? Do you mean fastest? Do you mean highest quality? Do you mean the lightest spirit? Do you mean the most flavor? So when you say the best, that can mean a few different things. And then also, to ask the best method is still just subjective all the way around.
Yeah, we really need, which we talk about this periodically when this kind of a thing comes up. We really need a depends graphic to just pop up. We need maybe an adult diaper.
Yeah, that's
kind of the answer, right? It's a shitty answer.
It's a shitty answer.
It's a shitty answer, but it's just the right answer.
Yeah.
The answer every time in that kind of a situation is, it depends.
So that is definitely going to be one of our custom emojis.
Oh, yeah.
So for those of you that
a diaper
aren't aware,
diaper.
We've been tossing around the idea of doing a channel subscription on YouTube for $1.99 or $2.99, whatever it is, just something cheap, so that we can get custom emojis for our chat that have meaning to our community, and that would be awesome. A diaper, so that when someone jumps in with a question of, hey, everybody will just be, depends.
Diapers in the chat.
Diapers in the chat.
Get some diapers in there.
Yeah. So chasing what's beneath water, I'm not poking fun at you, I promise.
Not at all.
It's just, that's a question that you can't answer. It's only a question you can answer after a bunch of personal experimentation and figuring out which method you like best. Me personally, I like a single pot still run better than I like most other runs. And there's other people out there that do not like a single pot still run. And so that's why I said all that. Can't tell if it's cloudy. What's filtering? Yeah, so Bennett, he was talking, I'm assuming you're talking about the mead. He was filtering it to try and clarify it. And it's not, when we talk about filtering with wine or mead, we're not talking about the same thing as with moonshine. Charlene says, check the jar. He's checking the jar. Jason Acosta says, 100% Jeff. Jeff said, no apocalypse. Yeah. For those folks far enough down south that aren't used to getting snow that got some. I wonder, hey, Jason and everybody down south, I say down south, I'm in Arkansas, but I'm talking Louisiana, all those places that got snow where it hardly ever snows. Did everything shut down after just a few inches?
They were down there contemplating, do I have enough storage? Oh, yeah. Dude, 100%. Louisiana? Yeah, dude, they were not we're.
Did you change the oil in the generator?
yeah, seriously. Yeah. They were down there really contemplating, will we weather this storm? Maybe not.
Yeah.
That said, I guess
this is it.
Yeah. That's I think Jason was just down there getting hammered, having fun.
Yeah.
Which is what I mean. You guys know that's what I do.
End is coming. Let's get some beer.
Yeah. So also just a quick little tidbit on the wine stuff. These data sheets, like I'm asking him, hey, did we ever neutralize that? He's like, I don't know. If we did, it's not on there. We didn't do it. Great way, I think. Pretty interesting way. I don't see a lot of people doing like the kind of lanyard with just a little bit of something on there you can
Yeah,
with it on.
the reason I did it that way is, number one, I'm terrible at keeping track of a notebook.
Yeah.
And so notebooks don't work very well for me. I've gotten better over the last couple of years. But and number two, when you rack from one bottle to another bottle, if you've stuck it on this bottle, now you've got to remember to peel it off and put it on another or put another sticker on.
Yeah.
So this way I can just, from one bottle to another, it's pretty easy.
Joe, you're too early.
You haven't pulled it yet?
I've pulled it. It's over
Oh.
there. We just haven't started yet.
Oh,
Okay, listen, Joe, I'm sorry. I did pull the jar.
you're right. And that's the rule.
You know what?
Don't do it
Actually,
until we pull it.
but Joe, guess again, and use a different number. Now you guys can start guessing.
Nobody gets the sweetness like Joe.
Trying to help my girl out. Oh, she went the wrong way.
Everything shut down, Jason says. Yeah, I bet. Yeah. We we got 12-ish inches here, and that's quite a bit more than we're accustomed to. Like normally we'll get 2 or 3 inches and it's basically gone the next day or two.
Yeah.
Not a big
There's
deal.
still snow piles out there.
Yeah, there's still snow piles, which is odd for us.
Yeah.
121, 141, 72, 132, 152, 104, 125, jar 6, 139, 114. What Joe said. That's funny. Bread and milk sell out for some reason, and we don't have plows, salt trucks. Yeah, I bet you don't have any plows and salt trucks. But was there toilet paper? That's probably.
We have that same, Jason, you're describing our situation to a T. Now we have salt trucks.
Yeah.
We don't have enough of them.
Yeah.
We just get snow so rarely that we just don't have the infrastructure for it. I guess we just don't have the money. I guess our government is spending our money efficiently in other areas and we don't have enough salt.
Super
Right.
efficiently.
So
Yeah.
not me bitching about government, but like we spend a lot of money on stuff. Why don't we just buy a couple extra salt trucks? Don't get me started. You guys done guessing?
Jack says, we have plenty of salt. Yeah, you're up in Michigan. You guys got salt truck. Sure.
We'll go till 6:45 on the guesses.
So 6:45, the Price is Right rules.
Price is
apply.
Right. Don't go
I don't
over.
think there's anyone too young in here that wouldn't know what Price is Right rules are.
I'd say the median age in this chat is probably close to 40.
Do the people know what they're getting? Is this the giveaway?
Yeah, they're getting a grain kit of their choosing. So if you are the closest to the proof without going over, you will get on stillintheclear.com. You'll pick out any of the grain kits that are on there. You'll say, I want this one. Here's my shipping address. And then there it'll be.
I went ahead and put it up on the screen, that picture that we pulled earlier. It's just showing a few different
Yeah.
Windsong is always on it.
choices there. She said bubbles in all caps.
Yeah,
That's important.
yeah. She always wants to see the bubbles.
Oh,
This is the right one, right? Yeah. All right, here comes the bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You can see the cloudiness there for sure. Nice.
All right, there's the bubbles.
all right. You guys got about 1 more minute to lock in your guesses, and then we are going to be giving this grain kit to one of our lucky contestants here.
Jason says, "What is salt for? What is salt for?" Might not even know down there, huh?
Yeah, so they just sling it out on the roads, and it helps melt the ice and tries to knock the ice off the roads. You get to a certain point though where I think it just stops mattering. Like you can put salt on like 10-degree ice, and
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. I don't know the science behind it, but I would assume at some point it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. What does it do? Salt water, it raises the freezing temperature. That's what it does.
No, it lowers the
It
freezing
lowers
temperature.
it. Lowers the freezing temperature.
Yeah, I mean, I think the concentration matters, but I've read that it's like 20 degrees. So if you're below 20 degrees,
Doesn't matter.
salt doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it just basically changes the structure of the ice. Some salt water.
Yeah, Clinton's jumping in there. Salt lowers the freezing temp, so it liquefies and runs off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
All right, I think that's it on the guest approves.
Would you be the announcer on that?
90 proof there. You guys, a lot of you were vastly over 90. Had a little bit more confidence in us than it's clearly
Guessing without going over. Did anyone get it?
someone did. I saw a couple in there that were lower.
So first contender at 642, Clinton on YouTube said 72. So he lowballed.
It was Clinton. I'm pretty sure. There could be maybe someone between 72 and 90, but I'm pretty sure when it came through, I was like, oh, Clinton's going to win another one.
That's all Clinton. Clinton won it with 72.
Clinton House.
In the house.
In the house, won another one. That's the second one he's won, right?
I think it's more than two.
Yeah, he's won at least two.
No, dude, he kills them. Him and Jason.
Yeah. So you jump over there to stillintheclear.com, go to the shop, and go to the grain kits. Pick the grain kit you want. Let us know. And he says that's my first to win with a prize. Ah, awesome. Good. I'm glad.
Okay.
That's great.
Nice.
Well deserved. Well deserved. You're always normally winning, I guess, the ones that just don't matter.
Yeah.
Good for you. Won a big week.
So this run, we ranged from 182 to 90 in only 7 pints. So honestly, just a disappointing run. And admittedly, like, our negligence caused some of that. So, you got to think though, too, out of 6 gallons on less than 10% in terms of yield, if you assume maybe I'll get 3 of these jars, which it could be more, probably won't be, but by the time you proof it down to like vodka level, it's actually a lot of liquor. Well, my guess is we've got 2 jars. Now, we'll taste them and everything tomorrow, but my guess is we have 2 jars.
I would think too, for
that
sure.
We can save. So that's a quart. Proof it down, you end up with maybe half a gallon.
I think this one's going to make it. I know the first jar.
That one's not going to make it.
What makes you say that?
Because we compressed the heads.
I'm not getting... See what I mean?
That is interesting.
See what I mean?
Doesn't smell like heads. But tomorrow we'll taste it.
We'll see.
We'll find out. But my guess is we get 2 jars.
I'll have disappointments in you. Yeah, Bennett, that's true. Bennett's offering some kind of pretty, actually, just really good advice.
Solid wisdom there. You
run enough, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. And which is good to say specifically for the beginners to hear, because it can be frustrating because you've taken all this time.
Yeah.
You've taken a few hours just to make the mash. Then you've waited minimum a week, and then you've spent half a day or a day running the still. And then if it doesn't turn out, you're like, Jesus, do I really want to be doing this? So you got to understand you're going to screw some things up. It just happens. I've been doing this a long time, still screw things up. Not a big deal.
Bennett says, I still have bad runs. Brother, you should go to a doctor. Ask him about that. You get it? Diarrhea?
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
All right.
I was late. I was late getting it because I was also reading. But I got it. I got it.
Oh,
Charlene
man.
says, redo it with actual potatoes and judge it from the actual potato run to the instant potato one.
We haven't done any instant potatoes.
We didn't use instant potatoes. They were,
That'd be a cool video idea, though.
yeah, we used 30 pounds of potatoes, bumped it with a little sugar.
Instant potato vodka.
Yeah, that'd be a great meme video. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Sounds easy.
Thank you, Charlene.
Thanks for that. Duke Cannon dropping off chat. You guys are still up on TV. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Richard says, like scorching. Yeah, that was Richard's first mistake that he went through, was scorching one of his runs and having to clean the still. It sucks.
That does sting, man.
Backwood says, so we've heard. Probably about the runs. Everybody's heard about the runs, Bennett.
Everyone's had them. One of them deals.
Yeah, Jason, the still is efficient, but the wash was low ABV to start with. Yeah, you're right. And plus, like, it was only, it was 6 gallons at the most. It was maybe closer to 5.5 gallons. And some negligence. I'm not going to say that wasn't there.
Clinton House with the super chat, just to offset the prize a little. Y'all are still a business, and all that knowledge given out, brother. You didn't have to do that. It's really sweet of you. We appreciate it.
Fully appreciate it, Clinton. Yeah.
Yeah. The super chats and the TikTok gifts are awesome. We appreciate the support. We don't ever ask anyone to send us anything, but it's always appreciated when you do. Appreciate that.
For sure.
What's he saying? Bennett says stop scorching? I've never cooked grain on fire.
Well, Bennett, I think he's talking about making your mash using propane.
Instead of the electric.
You got to stir.
Bennett, do you run a lot of electric?
But also Bennett, like, he was talking about his actual run. He didn't clear his run well, and I think he was talking about his actual run, and he was using electric, if I'm not mistaken. Mike Smith with a 120.
Mike, brother, your
live stream got paused or something. You're running way behind.
Something happened. Yeah, you're not. First off, if you got your live backed up and you're just 20 minutes behind, you're not going to see us talking to you right now anyway. But for those of you that are, just keep in mind, like, sometimes your YouTube can get behind, or you can pause it and go do something. It's not just going to catch you back up. Like, you got to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you got to move it forward. Which, like you said, he still doesn't know.
No, dude, he's going to be. That's really kind of an interesting. He's going to be.
120.
He's going to be lost.
120 was not going to make it anyway.
Well, what's funny is he'll get to this point and then he'll probably suddenly realize, like, oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Richard says electric element. Yeah, I thought I remembered that. Clinton House says just live button on bottom left to catch up to current. Oh shit, I didn't even know that. That's a good tip right there. Just tap the live button, it catches you up.
I didn't realize that either.
Because I do that all the time, watching a live, and either I'll pause it or, a lot of times I'm listening to a live. This happens quite a bit, and I'm driving out there through the woods, and no service, so my service gets disconnected for a bit, come back, and now I'm way behind.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I can just hit that live button. Excellent. Are we still running, or?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're collecting for the faints jar at this point.
We're not getting anything. Yeah.
We're at 6 being at 90. That one will probably be half that or so. We'll probably run that out of here and probably for sure be the last jar there, even from a faints aspect.
Yeah.
How far? Someone asked this the other day, and I didn't really have a good. I gave them the depends answer, but when you're running tails, how deep into tails will you go, knowing like, hey, this is just going to end up in a thing? Depends on your time.
So for me, it depends on my time.
Yeah.
Because my time is
That's what I told him.
more valuable to me now than the little bit of liquor. But there are people that will run it like Prohibition 1920. He runs his all the way down to 0 at times, I think.
Joe.
54. Yeah, so Prohibition, I've seen him a number of times in videos talking about running it all the way to 0.
Really?
Yeah, where you're boiling water at that point.
Yeah.
So you can run it as deep as you want. For me, it's always about time.
Which we never really seemed to run it down that far just because of time constraints and stuff. But I could see it probably getting to a point where it's like 90, 60, 30, 12, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and just really running 3 or 4 jars past where we would normally be like, okay.
Yeah. And, back in the days when I was running underneath a tarp in the woods with wood fire instead of propane, like I'm shutting it down as soon as I hit the tails. I ain't screwing with it because it's way too much. It's freaking 3 o'clock in the morning. Might be raining. Like I'm done,
About half hammered.
Yeah. The raccoons have abandoned me,
I have no friends.
Yeah.
All the animals that were congregating around the still have left me.
Yeah.
Everyone's just sad for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Bennett says, what helps me is racking off even grain and letting it sit. Then I strain again. Yeah, it's not a bad practice. I don't rack off the grain, assuming our definitions of racking is the same, but like I will pull it off of the grain, put it in a bucket, usually siphoning or using one of the fermenter on the grain parts kits. And then I will let that sit overnight so that it settles out. And then I'll pour into the still and try not to let that last little bit get into the still. That's as far as I go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bennett said tails aren't worth enough to spend that much time, in my opinion. Yeah, at a certain point, also it's going to depend on the size of your runs and all that kind of stuff too. But like, I kind of share the same sentiment. What kind of Bennett is saying is like, one, is it worth the electric or the propane, your time?
Yeah. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah, is the juice worth the squeeze? And yeah, you get a lot higher yield, and your faint jar, you're already having to proof it down to 40. So what's it matter if you're pouring off a bunch of little extra into it? But
yeah, I think I saw the chat's already scrolled past, but I think I saw Clinton is getting a deflag set up arriving soon, which is pretty awesome.
He said my reflux and deflag column add-on is arriving tomorrow. Great end to a crappy week.
Yeah, nice,
awesome.
Where'd you get it from? Which one did you get?
Let's see. Jars run down that far are for the flavor to proof your higher spirits. Yeah, a lot of people do that. They'll go way deep into the tails, and it's very watery, lots of flavor, and they'll use that to proof down instead of using like a distilled water.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
State of Mississippi did us a solid and extended deer season till February 2nd.
They can do that on the fly? Was that just something that they just did an extra couple weeks this year, or did they just like...
It snowed.
That would be kind of sick, honestly. They're like, hey, you guys couldn't get out about as much.
Yeah, it snowed, so we're going to give you a few extra days.
I like that. Dude, Mississippi is sick, it sounds like, maybe. That's awesome.
Then it says, time is money.
Joe Park says, if I'm doing sour mash, I go low.
Yeah.
Sure. Run run. Jason said I run until about 10% for a stripping run. Yeah, which I think on a stripping run, we're more accustomed to going in.
Yeah, I do run. I run pretty deep on a stripping run. If I'm not doing a stripping run, it's typically.
Well, and you just run so much faster too. It's like,
yeah, you're not wasting a lot of time.
Yeah,
because you're running fast.
you just
anyway.
run it as hot and fast as you can, wide open, and well,
yeah.
Bad Juju Beard Company in the house, brother. We were just bragging on you, man.
We were just bragging on you. We've been getting so many comments on our beard tonight. How great they look. Asking, what have you been doing?
What are you guys moving to Hollywood, becoming beard models?
Well,
They were saying it.
I'm getting tired of the DMs. You know, hey, would you mind modeling your beard for me? It's getting old, honestly.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm married. Leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Lizzie's, I've got a lot of good liquor from faint runs, especially if you want a post flavor, especially on corn. Sometimes it helps to mellow out the corn flavor for mixed drinks or cocktails.
That's your That's your That's your faints runs.
Yeah, Winsong has very specific recipes, and some of her recipes call for a neutral spirit, and you can easily make a neutral spirit out of faint.
Yep.
Easily.
Winsong says we were lying.
I don't know.
They're lying. I mean,
she's talking about everyone talking about how beautiful we are. And
her
stream might have been cutting out.
Would she call us out on that?
Oh, yeah, you could have some internet connection.
You probably had some internet issues. You didn't see those comments.
Could have been what it was.
We're not lying.
Technical difficulties, Winsong. I don't think you saw what we're talking about.
Oh, I love these comments. Nick Haas, I've got my very first mash going right now, and hopefully it'll be ready for my first run this weekend, maybe next. Your videos were so key. Hopefully I'm doing it right and everything works.
Yeah, hopefully everything works. That's awesome, man. It's very exciting to be making your first run. I would guess you're probably looking at your airlock. You're checking the bubbles every 80 minutes. You know, that's how I
for sure.
You know, you're checking on it. You're kind of rubbing it a little bit.
I used to call you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I would call, dude, this is what's crazy. I used to call Cyrus periodically. Like, I'd call up here to the shop and I'd be like, no, I've got a ferment and it's only bubbling probably once every 42 secones right now. And
I remember you were actually timing it.
Dude, I would sit in my winemaking closet with a timer on my phone.
Right.
And I would be like, okay, we're at 42 seconds today. And then the next day, if I went in there and it was like a minute, 16 seconds, I'd be like, whoa,
what's happening?
What's going on?
What is this?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, dude. Shout out to Nick, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Happy for you.
It's very exciting.
Glad Cyrus could help you kind of get off the ground and start running, man. That's sick.
Yeah, and hopefully it turns out well. I don't know what your mash was. Don't know anything about it, but
what's up,
just keep this in mind. If it doesn't turn out, don't get too depressed about it.
Dude.
Just start another one. But it's probably going to be great. That's another thing about your first run. It always tastes great.
Dude, that's what it is.
It always tastes great.
Like most of the time, right? Like not everything's 100%, but most of the time, guys try ferment for the first time. They get it through their still or a wine or whatever it is. They make this first batch and it is exceptional.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I don't know if it's beginner's luck or if you're just really honed in and trying to make sure you do everything right and you've watched hundreds of videos leading up to this first ferment. But that's normally how it goes.
You're paying attention to every detail.
And then you're just whooped after that. Like you're just hook, line, and sinker. Like, oh, I could just do this every time. You know, it won't happen every time, but it'll happen most times if you're pretty careful about what you do and you take good advice.
There is also a bit of that. You made it. So it just tastes better. You made it.
100%.
Yeah.
I remember first few gallons of wine I made. Looking back on it now, because I still have some of them. Like, looking back on it now, I was really high on them.
Yeah.
And I, like, have gone back and tasted them. It's like, it's good. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I remember at the time thinking, like, dude,
I should go to winery.
should I stop what I'm doing right now? Like, am I just like way better than everybody at this? Like, what's going on?
Maybe I'm a natural, you know?
So, yeah.
I was born with this skill, apparently.
There was a little bias in there for sure.
Right.
Like, because I was, you're surprised, right? Like, you don't think, if you're hard on yourself or if you're not like, I don't know, a very arrogant person, like you'll make that first run and you're just shocked.
Yeah.
You'll make those first couple runs and you're just like so surprised. Like, I can't believe that I can do this.
Yeah, this
And
all
then
actually works.
If you're like me, you go on the other end of that and you're like, not only am I surprised I can do this, but maybe I'm the best. I don't know. Maybe I'm the greatest.
Yeah. Why has no one discovered?
I've tried them since then, and they're very mediocre.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick says he's already hooked. That's awesome. It is, we tell people all the time, this is not so much a hobby as it is an obsession.
It
happens.
This is very true, Nick.
Yeah, Backwood says some of the worst ferments also turned out to be some of the greatest liquid. Like, that's true also.
Yeah, super true. I've got one in the back. This thing has been stuck, restarted. Oh, dude, like, what all have we done to that thing?
That
sorbet
thing has been a struggle. Like,
temperature.
Honestly, I would have given up on it a long time ago. The only reason I haven't suggested it is because, you're trying to get this thing done. But
it's slowly worked down. I think it's at like 10-20 now. So it's on the tail end of finishing. And it could be 1,000 right now.
It's been fermenting for like 45 days or something.
Months. I put too much sugar in it. Yeah. And I realized afterwards that we bumped it with some water to help that issue. We added potassium sorbate. We added
not sorbate. Bicarbonate. Yeah.
We've tested pHs. We've pitched yeast. We didn't turbo yeast. So we thought about it at one point. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely crazy.
But it finally got it going. It's just going really slow. Like, it's just taking its time.
And it will. And here's the thing: we've talked about this too. That ferment, that batch will probably be so good, exceptional, really good. Never make it again.
Never be able to.
Won't be able to.
Yeah. David Caraway says, newbie, how do you tell the difference between head, heart, and tail? So, we can't get into a full description of that in the live stream, but I did make a video on how to start learning how to tell your heads, hearts, and tails. It's a process that you teach yourself, and you teach yourself your own preferences. And I've got a video on the YouTube channel, how to make your cuts or something like that. But it teaches you a process that if you follow this process every time you make a run, over time, you will learn how to make cuts just the way you want them. So there is not a specific way to know, oh, these are all heads, these are all hearts, these are all tails. I mean, there might be, like in a laboratory, there might be a way to do that. Well, but it's very subjective. And so I will tell you this, the heads, to me, when I'm smelling them and tasting them, they're very sharp. They're very like
acetone
type smells. And, you smell it and it kind of makes you turn your head a little bit, like it's that kind of thing.
Get your nose too far down into it.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh.
Yeah. And then the tails, you get down into the tails and you start getting some funkiness, kind of like people describe it as wet cardboard or wet concrete, or there's just grungy is the word people use. And then everything in the middle that is neither of those are your hearts.
Taste, smell, and experience.
Yeah.
Like, separate out and make cuts a few times on different runs of yours. Err on the side of caution. Make smaller cuts so that you can get a higher yield. Smell what you smell, taste what you taste, and use your experience over those first few cuts to try to help you improve on the quality of your liquor.
And David,
that's the short answer to a big question.
If you haven't seen any of the videos that he and I both do about if you're new, sometimes you can have this fear that you're going to make yourself go blind or you're going to kill somebody. That is not going to happen.
Won't happen.
So you can take the entire run from the first drops to the last drops, combine it all, drink it. It may not taste great, but you will not go blind and you will not kill yourself. So there's a lot of fear out there around that. So just in case you're
There's a big
new
stigma
enough
about
that
it.
big stigma. So just don't worry about. Don't be making your cuts with this fear that you've got to be sure and make that head's cut just right or somebody's going to get hurt. That's not going to happen. It's all about preference. What you like to taste, what you don't like to taste, and mix it all in.
Hillbilly Glass Barrel said tails or hot dog water.
Hot dog water.
They're grungy. I mean,
that's disgusting.
you know when you're in them. Just think about, okay, I've smelled liquors before. I know what a good, clean, crisp liquor smell is. And then when you get into the tails, you're going to know it. You're going to know it visually, maybe through a little bit of cloudiness in your jar. You're going to go, oh, okay, hold on. Let me criticize this jar a little bit. That's not a 100% telltale, like, hey, I'm here. But it's a good indicator. And when you're smelling that, you'll pick it up. You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know.
And Clinton is bringing up a point for David too, that there's a file in the MeWe files about heads and acetone and smelling hearts, perfect smell, tails, wet, all that. There's a file in there. And if I'm not mistaken, you're already in MeWe. The name looks a little bit familiar, but if you're not.
He said he was.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, up there.
So, jump into the files section. That's just Clinton being a great admin again, as usual over there.
Super solid dude. A lot of help. You guys are talking about the new YouTube channel. Adam was gracious enough to put links to that in the chat. Always appreciate you guys going over there and subscribing to that and turning your notifications on if that's what you want to do. We're doing a lot of that kind of content, like what Clinton was saying on fermentation and wine, and a little bit different subject matter than what the MeWe group and the Still in the Clear channel is. Kind of goes outside a little bit in terms of wine, beer, distilling, racking, all that kind of good stuff. There's not a ton of content over there right now. It's pretty new. I am going to put shorts over there every day. But the long form videos I'm hoping will come about once a week. And we just started shooting those, so you'll have to allow me a little brevity there.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a little sneak peek. A little sneak peek of a video coming up because this is pretty awesome.
Oh.
This, I'm not going to say much about it because he's done a tutorial about it, but look at that. That's going to be awesome. So that's a full 6 gallons, right?
Well, I think it's a 6.9 or a 6.5 carboy, and so there's probably about 6 gallons or so in there.
Yeah, so
4.5, 5.5, the sugar, and then the water. Yeah, it's probably a little bit above 6.
Yeah, and so that's a video he's been working on this week. I mean, my guess, just from all of the footage that we pulled that you took, it's probably going to be 8 to 10 minute tutorial on how to make that. But
Richard said, do a stout beer on there, Zach. I'll supply some coffee for it.
There we go.
I'm taking a note right now, brother. You bring the coffee over. I got you. Love video ideas in the chat.
Absolutely.
It's where we get our best ones, I feel like. The Pachuga, some of the crazy stuff we've done on here.
Instant potatoes.
Instant potato vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Do a coffee stout. with Richard Coffee.
Awesome. Nick says, I know there's no exact way to determine this, but I went cheap to get into this and bought the 13-gallon Beaver. When I go to run this, what kind of time frame should I set aside to do it? So,
diapers in the chat.
Diapers
in the chat.
So the 13-gallon Beaver, you either got they've got a 3-pot 13-gallon, and then they've also got what we call the Lombardi, which has the football type. If you got the 3-pot,
The 16 to 18.
yeah. If you got the 3-pot, it's all day. And then if you got the Lombardi, you might be able to do it in like 8 to 10 hours. So yeah, Backwoods is in there, 16 to 18.
Windsong, it's the Homebrew Center YouTube channel, and then the link is right below your comment there. Thank you.
Homebrew Center YouTube channel, which is also associated with our brick and mortar store, and I expect it's going to be a very popular channel in time.
Oh, we hope
It's
so.
brand new.
We hope so. And also, I'm new to the longer videos, so I don't know. I may start hammering these longer videos out, and everyone's like, "This guy sucks in long form." Nah, could happen. Could happen. I can feel, I'm like a young comedian that I can fill 2 or 3 minutes pretty easily. But when it comes to like 20, 30 minutes, I don't know. I don't want to, I don't know. I'm still kind of finding my groove. I don't want to ramble. I don't want to, I don't want to just fill time. So I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to figure out everything over there. And it's a big jump from TikTok to YouTube. Is like,
It is a difficult jump. Even people like
completely different.
You get someone like Shua. He and I have talked about this a number of times. He's talked about how easy TikTok is and how hard YouTube is.
I couldn't agree more.
And I'm the opposite. Like, YouTube is easy. TikTok is very hard. Like, how do I condense this information
It's
into
just
a
what
minute?
we're more familiar with versus the other.
that's
I
what it
understand
is.
that's what it is, but it's just, like I said, big learning curve. Just no snow angels on YouTube, Joe. I'm not going to make any promises there. If the right snow day hits me and the 1 gallon of wine hits me the right way, I might start doing some more bikini snow angels for you. I don't know.
Winsong says, "Oh, you're talking about the shop channel. I thought I was missing something." Nope.
You're
Not
probably already
anything.
subscribed. I thought you were just plugging the channel there, just trying to get a little bit more chatter about the YouTube channel.
What was that again?
Well, I didn't hear it. What was the name of that channel?
How do you spell that?
I was singing in my head. I was like, surely she knows about the Homebrew Center channel. Yeah. Joe Park says, "You drink wine and go with the flow." Truer words may have never
That's
been said, Joe.
very true.
Maybe the credo of my whole entire life is just, hang out, have fun,
Yeah.
go with the flow.
I mean, there's much worse mottos to live by.
There's worse ways to go through life.
Yeah.
Well, what are we thinking here, guys?
I'm thinking it's about time to shut this down. This is not going to be anything.
No, it'll be nothing.
We've got
It'll
a
be
winner, Clinton.
just straight into the tails there.
Yeah.
Or paints, rather. Sorry. All right, I think last comment of the night, Hillbilly Glass Barrels says, "I have an 8-gallon beaver pot with a Tiger Shine copper cap, 3-gallon thumper, half-gallon jar rig, and an air-cooled worm. Tinkering with stuff is part of why I love this stuff."
Yeah.
Pretty good showcase of like a lot of people through all varying stages of the hobby. Hillbilly Glass Barrels, someone who's been doing it a while. A lot of the newer guys, they're like, I feel like Beaver stills have become the new like Fox Body Mustang that everyone's tuning around on, and working on, and like how many turbos and like different, how much horsepower can I get out of this bad boy?
Yeah.
So yeah, cool from that perspective.
Yep.
Joe said it's 34. What do I win?
Joe, you are winning my love and admiration as you do every week. That said, Bill. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Bill.
That said, guys, I think that we're going to wrap it up here. We've kind of gone really pretty deep into this run, and it was awesome hanging out with everyone on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all you guys. So I think with that said, we're going to sign off here, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Next Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.